Hello, my name is Derek Holden, and I'm a procurement and operational excellence practitioner with Denali, a WNS company. I've spent the last 8 years of my career managing projects and process improvement efforts, and my work has received awards from ProcureCon, the Sourcing Industry Group, and Procurement Leaders World Procurement Awards. And what I'd like to do today is share with you 3 tips to help you on your process improvement journey. So tip number 1, identify the process customers and what it is that they value. So what I mean by this is you need to actually go and talk to your customers. First, you have to know who they are and identify what it is that they value. This is critically important to any process improvement effort, as it allows you to make measurements on what really counts when you're improving your process. Because at the end of the day, it's all about what the customer values. And with all of the economic and social disruption that's been brought on by things like COVID-19, any kind of historical assumptions or historical data that you might have had about what your customers' wants and needs are may no longer be valid. So it's crucially important that you go and talk with your customers, understand what they need, so then that will be your basis for identifying any process improvement efforts. And remember, your customers include other stakeholders such as shareholders, your suppliers, partners within your organization, and many others. And you have to talk to those people as well, gather their wants and needs, and prioritize them against your end customer. Once you've gone through that exercise of talking with your customers and identifying what their needs are, then you can develop metrics that help to measure the success based on what the customers value, and go through and take a look at your current process, evaluate them in the light of those metrics, and then identify areas for opportunity for improvement. So once you've gone through that and you've got all of your list of projects and your improvement opportunities, there's going to be a overwhelming temptation to go and tackle the biggest project you can, the high risk ERP or organizational restructure that's going to yield a lot of value, but like I said, a lot of risk, a lot of complexity, a lot can go wrong with those. So instead, we generally recommend that you start small, you be agile with the projects you're going to pick up, and you focus on delivering that value. And again, that's value as defined by your customers. So one of the advantages with starting small is that the projects are going to be generally easier to manage, they're going to be quicker to complete, and your chance for success is going to be immensely greater than a huge ERP restructure or deployment. So as you complete those small projects, that's going to help your teams and your organization build confidence in continued improvement. It's going to allow building a business case for the successes that you've already done to help tackle those big projects and get the budget necessary to do that. And like I said, it's just going to set that basis and just set the good groundwork for moving forward. Another thing, side note that I want to add in here is don't ever let best get in the way of better. Again, there's a temptation in process improvement to take a look at large, complex processes and try to figure out what's the perfect solution to make that process run smoothly 100% of the time. Now, you might have experienced this yourself, endless meetings, talking about how to get to that perfect solution, and it's just never there. Instead, again, focus on the small incremental improvements, measuring the impact of those changes, making adjustments where necessary, and then congratulations, you're being agile and you're on the path of continual improvement. So as you're walking down that path of continual improvement, one thing that I want to call out to you is you've got to be aware of creating negative externalities. So what I mean by negative externalities, it's anything that you're creating a negative impact outside of the process within your control. So for example, let's talk about a company or a department who has a help desk, and they've got a lot of help desk tickets being created by their customer base. The volumes are more than the help desk can manage. So the process improvement wants to go around and help reduce those volumes. A worthwhile goal. Now, somebody along the way has the idea to say, well, maybe the issue is that the customers need more self-help information. So instead of letting them submit tickets, what if we put more self-help information out on our website, and let's hide or remove the contact information for our help desk? Well, doing that, you will surely meet your goal of reducing the volumes, but it might not solve the actual root cause of the issue if your customer doesn't care about having more self-help information, or if those help desk issues were being driven by something like a defect in your product or service. So again, this really comes back to the value in having to talk with your customer, because all that you've done in this situation is you've created a negative externality. You've improved the metric of the volumes at the expense of your process, because you've pushed the responsibility for that task down to your customers. Now they have more work to do, and they're probably going to have some frustrations along the way with that. And you can imagine the long-term consequences that type of action might have if you haven't fully vetted what your customers value and the negative externalities that you might create. So again, it's unfortunately very easy to create negative externalities. So you have to take a step back, look at the overall picture of the process when you're looking to improve things. So in recap, you've got to know who your customers are and what it is that they value. Start small, be agile, make incremental changes and adjust where necessary, and then beware creating negative externalities. So I'll leave you with this. There are no perfect processes, but we should always continually strive for perfection. So if you've enjoyed this little conversation we've had today and you'd like to learn more, you can contact us here at WNS-Denali by referencing the information in the video description. Thanks for your time, and good luck on your process improvement journey.